you have one ass cheek and 3 toes, I will beat your ass.
We some lions, don't let them boys get loose. About to play with our food any day that we choose. We some lions, got them all listening. Time to make history, I want a victory. Lions, don't let them boys get loose. About to play with our food any day that we choose. We some lions, got them all listening. Time to make history, I want a victory. Lions, don't let them boys get loose. It's a new day, Honolulu Blue got the boys on a crusade. Campbell throwing dukes, got golf at the Wings game. Hear his name, replay and replay and replay. Got him off the leash every Sunday. David Montgomery, Gibbs on the runway. Take a shot at Jameson and stumble out the hallway. Running in the hutch any day, that's a bad day. They don't wanna bring us up, keep us off the airways. America's team, sick of dealing with these cowboys. Keep it in your hostess, you've been cheating like an off day. We got Slim Shady, you too caught up in Beyonce. Welcome to Detroit, all that grit can go a long way. Panay drawn lines in the ground like a driveway. Trucking up L's at a porter, that's a bad name. Sinners need saints, put our faith in a mom's hand. Lions, don't let the boys get loose. About to play with our food any day that we choose. We some lions.
Welcome to the One Ass Cheek and 3 Toe Show. Man, B's already getting excited. I feel that song, man. I really do. It gets me going, bro. Well, here we are, y'all. Week 3 of the NFL, and we are on the road in the all whites. How do y'all feel about that? We looking iced out today.
Yeah, you know what? I actually like that uniform. The all-white uniform might be my favorite.
Some trolls would say you're already waving the white flag, because I always say that whenever I see them wearing the all whites on the other teams. But yeah, they look good. Whoever's doing the whole uniform coordination, hey, props to you. I feel like it's like the Oregon Ducks kind of thing. You know, when Oregon always rolls out a new uniform every time. Yeah, and then next week is the all black baby with the blue helmets. Stoked about that one. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got a game today. Our boys are going on the road against the Cardinals, a very hot Cardinals team. And it's also hot there, too. So
I wouldn't say one game is hot, but okay.
Before we get started, how y'all feeling about this? Jay, I know you've been kind of helter-skelter during the week, so how much you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a little bit antsy because this Cardinals team is hot. I'm sorry, B, but this Cardinals team is very hot. Kyler Murray.
They're scoring 34 points a game now. It is kind of heightened because of
they're 1-1. It's week 2. Come on.
Kyler Murray right now, they have him rated.
Be one thing if they were 2-0.
Yeah,
as the number 1 quarterback right now. You know, Jared Goff is placed at 30, I want to say, only in front of Bo Nix and Bryce Young. And due to the way that they're playing, Kyler Murray, he's playing with a different swagger. Kyler Murray, he has a new weapon. He's come back off of an ACL injury last year, and he's kind of reinventing himself. So, you know, one of the Achilles heel for the Lions have been mobile quarterbacks, no matter who they play, where it was. It's just kind of a struggle for the Lions to keep up. So,
we're going to talk about that because that has been a bugaboo with us in the past years. And Kyler Murray is a different type of runner. He's a chase a chicken type of guy. Yeah. You know, if you ever try to chase a chicken, it's very hard if you're not very fast. Like Kyler Murray's got quick legs.
And excuse my voice. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or not, but I'm trying to talk louder. But
no, you're good. B, how you feeling, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, it's week number 3. Let's do this. Get out there. You know, I like how everybody has problems with mobile quarterbacks. Who don't? What team doesn't have problems with quarterbacks that are mobile? It's just there's a different team with a mobile quarterback. You just got to deal with it. And
it's because of the past that the Lions have dealt with bad.
Well, I mean, every team has had. Like I said,
I get it. But
people just jump on stuff just to be jumping on stuff to clickbait stuff. I just think that if the Lions keep everything in front of them, they'll be fine. Their defensive line is 2 to 3 times better than the Rams' defensive line right now, and they're getting Davenport back. They're playing, and they're going to have Reeder and Aleem and Aiden. You know, and then on top of that, you're forgetting about Levi. Levi's was in there on at least 3 of the 4 sacks that Aiden was getting. So, and he even picked up a half a sack, I think. So, I mean, I'm not worried about the defense. I'm not worried about the. I mean, it poses just as much as threat as Stafford and Koopa, Nakua and Cooper, or Baker and Mike Evans. It's the same difference.
Actually, I would argue that this receiving core is weaker than all the other two because outside of Marvin Harrison Jr., which is a rookie, by the way, let's pump the brakes for a second. He's a rookie, and he went against a sorry secondary in the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. That's all they really have. I think Dulcich or some other dude might be playing. Whatever
he
his
dropped
name is,
a couple passes, as a matter of fact, in that game.
But I'm not worried about their receiving core. I think the secondary should really have a good day. But we'll get into that. Let's talk about the injury report. Go ahead.
Keep that in mind when we were talking about, what you're worried about and stuff like that, because I got something for y'all.
Just hold your water, like they say. All right. So we're gonna go talk injury report real quick. We won't know who the inactives are. If y'all have an idea of who might be inactive, let me know. We can talk about it. But for right now, we know Efe Melifonwu is out. Ernest Rakestraw is out. Alex is questionable. He did travel with the team. I do expect Alex to play, so we should be good there. Terrian's coming off an illness, so he should be good to go, hopefully. Graham had a knee problem. He should be good to go. Dan said he was good. Isaiah Williams looks like it was questionable. He should be good to go too, available. Davenport is back, thank God. Kirby Joseph is good, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is good. So looks like we're gonna have a good lineup today, guys. What are your thoughts about Iffy and Rakestraw out? Who do you expect to step up in the secondary with those out?
That's not really a surprise. You remember when he got injured in the preseason, Dan Campbell wasn't really too optimistic about it. So Rakestraw, I kind of seen that coming too. I expect everybody to kind of have the same roles. Rakestraw, he was kind of like a rotating player in and out. I thought he was going to come in and make an instant impact because of his mentality. But, I think Terry and Arnold, I think Amik Robertson, the players in our secondary lived up to expectation. I mean, aside from a few penalties that they got in, the secondary has actually played really well.
Agreed.
And so my confidence level in our secondary, I think they're going to do good. I'm not really too worried. I don't think anybody has to really step up and take on a big role because they all play a big part in the passing defense.
Yeah, Rakestraw actually he got hurt before warmups, according to Dan, which is crazy. I guess he was maybe going too crazy and he pulled his hammy. Yeah. So he was healthy going into that game. It's just a freak situation that happened. So, but I do agree with you. He is missing some valuable live reps if he can get in there, especially on special teams. And he needs to make up for that play he botched at the goal line.
Yeah.
So hopefully he gets back soon. Iffy, on the other hand, I mean, it is what it is, man. He always gets hurt. We know we have him for half a season sometimes, and when he plays, he produces. But I mean, I feel good about our safeties. We have arguably the best two safeties in the NFL, Kirby and BB. And then, Brandon Joseph will get his chance in there. And then you got Strickland, who's actually active now. So he might get some packages too. So let me also highlight too that the Lions did elevate Allen Robinson and Tim Patrick for this game. So that Amon-Ra is good because usually when you elevate two receivers, somebody's not going to play. But Amon-Ra is good. He practiced all week. What do y'all think about having those two dudes in the active roster? Do you think Ben Johnson's going to take some shots tonight or today?
No, I'm going to let B. Striller go first, though.
He better not. He better keep them. He better keep them passes, passing attempts at 38 and call it a day, like Pat McAfee said.
Keep them down. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Run that ball. That's what you got to do. You got an offensive line that can get you them holes. Just run the ball and do play action when you need to. That's what Goff is good at. And when he's playing out of character, that's why he gets bad. He gets out of his sorts. And it's not I'm not the only one that says that. There's plenty of people around the league that say the same thing about Goff. And when you play out of that source, he doesn't know how to operate well. So you gotta play with him. Yeah, he's not a
slinger. He's not a gunslinger. He's not a gunslinger by no means.
And I agree with you because just because you're elevating Tim Patrick and Allen Robinson, I don't think that's going to be like, okay, we can pass a little bit more because, I mean, the Lions offense have never been, since Dan Campbell has been here, been the coach, Jared Goff has been our quarterback, they have never been a pass-heavy team. You can pass, you can be balanced with the run, but anytime you see Jared Goff passing 30-plus times, you know that the Lions are in trouble. Your bread and butter is the run. Run the ball. You went away from that last week. You were kind of force-feeding the ball to Amon-Ra. So, I mean, if you're going to pass, make sure you pass it out of the backfield. But most importantly, run the ball. Get David Montgomery in between the tackles. Get Jahmyr Gibbs on the outside, and he can run between the tackles as well. Run the ball, man.
These two moves tell me two things in my mind. It tells me that now you've got a game plan for three big receivers, J-Mo, Robinson, and Patrick. So good luck with that first. Second of all, I think that this is kind of a show me situation. If we put you out there, show us that you can be that third receiver, because if you look at the stats right now, the third receiver on this team is Laporta, and he's got 57 yards. And I'm going to drop a stat to you that I just looked up when I was driving over here to my house. Josh Reynolds in 2 games last year had 186 yards. That's not a lot, but compared to what Laporta has as his third receiver, Josh had 186.
Wait, how many Josh Reynolds had?
He had 186 in 2 games.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Total. Against the Chiefs, and who did he play after the Chiefs? I forgot.
Seattle.
Thank you. Seattle and the Chiefs. So why I say that is because he had 186 yards in 2 games, and they went 1-1. We're 1-1, and our third receiver has 57 yards, and that's Laporta. So I think this is a situation where Dan and Brad are going like, hey, guys, let's see something. Give us some hope that there is some person out there outside of Amon-Ra and J-Mo and Laporta that can catch the ball and be that big target receiver that Goff can rely on. And hopefully we'll see that. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. That actually makes sense. And I got a question for the both of you guys really quick.
Sure, shoot.
Do you think one of Jared Goff's struggles is him missing Josh Reynolds right now? Because it's kind of been like a common theme talk around the town that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. B, go first.
Jared Goff is Josh Reynolds. I'm going to say Jared Goff does not miss Josh Reynolds. I mean, obviously we knew he was a safety blanket, but with the emergence of J-Mo, with you being a little bit more comfortable with Sam Laporta, I don't think Josh Reynolds should have mattered that much. But if you knew that was going to be a problem, you should have just paid him, because you got.
He might not have wanted to be here, man.
Yeah,
you got to think about it. He knew that J-Mo was behind him.
Well, I don't think that it was more so him not wanting to be here in J-Mo, because Josh Reynolds have never been that star player that we expected J-Mo to be, right? He was just like a safety blanket. You look at every quarterback that can pass the ball and have high efficiency third down passing, they have a safety blanket. Look at Brock Purdy. His safety blanket isn't always Deebo Samuel or Ayuk. He has Jennings over there as well. Look at Aaron Rodgers in New York. He has Alan Lazard, somebody he can lean on.
Right.
Everybody has their safety blanket, and it seems like what it is, it seemed like Jared Goff, I don't think Josh Reynolds was really that much of a big deal. I just think that it's really
the chemistry they had together was something that we missed, because those two dudes played in the Rams, and that's the reason why we brought him over to Detroit.
Right.
So he had trust in Josh Reynolds a lot, and I think he's still developing trust in J-Mo, still developing trust in these other new receivers. You know, he's got Amon-Ra, he's got Laporta. That I think that those are his 1-2 targets. J-Mo's becoming a third. And then after that, we'll see.
So Laporta, Amon-Ra, and J-Mo. So right now, Jared Goff, really quick, B, I'm gonna let you talk. But J-Mo it seemed like he and J-Mo kind of got that chemistry now. So that's your downfield target. We know for sure. Amon-Ra St. Brown can play all over the field. That's kind of like
he's going to be your number 1 target every time. That's your number one guy.
He's going to be my guy. And Sam Laporta, he's efficient, and so Jared Goff just needs to clean it up. I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm going to pass it to B really quick.
Go ahead, B.
So you said that Laporta is third. Well, wait a minute. So he's third receiver, right? And he's got 57 yards. So JMO basically took over the spot of Josh Reynolds. Okay. And JMO's got 200 yards. He's like the second receiver, highest receiver in yards. That's the problem right now. You might not look at it a problem, and everybody says, oh, yeah, they got to get the ball to JMO because he's extraordinary. No. This is the reason why Ben Johnson's having a hard time with his play calling, because they want to always get the ball to JMO, which means what you have to do. The majority of the time you have to pass, and this is what's killing this offense. Do what the hell that you did last year with your offense. Stop worrying about all that hype for JMO. JMO will get the job done when he's called upon to get the job done. He does not need to be the second highest receiver in yards, and we were at 1-1. We should have beat Tampa Bay. There is no question we should have beat Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay wasn't that damn good, okay? Yeah, all the hype you're giving to Baker Mayfield is making me fucking sick, okay? So,
it's like I told you guys offline. We beat ourselves in all facets.
Yeah.
All facets.
Yeah. I mean, the defense played well.
We beat ourselves. There's
the defense played well. The offense is the thing that
we allowed Baker that touchdown run was bullshit. That was bullshit.
Well, we got 4.5 sacks. We only allowed 20 points. Come on now.
Yeah, I gotta say something though. I think you kind of selling Baker Mayfield a little bit short. Baker Mayfield is a gunslinger. He can throw that ball. You give him any two good receivers like Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, he's going to make.
I mean, he's okay. He's not elite or anything.
He's not above.
But we made him look. We made him look damn good. Like he should not have looked that good against us.
And in fact, no, the Lions did make him look good because he only passed for 150 yards. So
yeah, but I mean, when he ran the ball down our throats on that goal line touchdown, the go ahead touchdown, that was inexcusable.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The defense just needs to clean it up and get sacks instead of because we could have had about 9 to 10 sacks.
Yeah, get his ass down on the ground. I agree.
We were back in that backfield more often than the running backs were. That's how much the defense was back
there. The Lions was red zone efficiency.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the missed field goal, red zone efficiency, allowing Baker that run. Everybody's to blame. Everybody's to blame. Not even
missed field goal. I want to say
missed field goal was huge. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what you want to say. That was huge.
I'm going to bring it up right now. So the Lions went 1 for 7 in the red zone. Now, that's with all of your playmakers out there on the field. That's with a healthy offensive line. That's with both J-Mo, Amon-Ra, and Sam Laporta out there, and you go 1 for 7 in the red zone. You cannot have that type of
That's what killed the Lions.
That's a combination.
I'm gonna tell you right now. That's the only thing that killed the Lions. 1 for 7 in the red zone is inexcusable for anybody that they got.
I get it. We can agree to disagree on that because I think that field goal is huge because
that field goal had nothing to do with it because you had a whole half to play.
The field goal, but if we make
you
the
had
field
a whole
goal,
half to play.
Drives,
you were still 1 for 7 in the red zone. That's the point.
I get it. But the matter
you want touchdowns instead of field goals, right?
I get it, but when you lose points, it matters. It matters too.
Touchdowns.
Anyway, we can agree to disagree. We can agree.
It's just a half, though.
We got time.
It's a half. It's just a half.
There's nothing to talk about. That we have difference of opinions. There's nothing wrong with that. I think if you lose points, it matters in a game at the end of the score.
All right. So let me ask you this question really
3
quick.
points wasn't going to win us the game.
Let's say the Lions kick the field goal. They still, if the game would have played out the way that it did, the Lions would have still been down.
But a field goal would have won it. That's my point.
But it wouldn't though. It wouldn't have. But you know what would have won the game? Not turning the ball over instead of throwing 2 interceptions. You get a touchdown.
I get that part. But do the math. Do the math. If we have a field goal, we're only down by 1. We had 2 chances to score in plus territory. We just need a field goal. We have to go for a damn touchdown. We're down by 4.
Which again, 1 for 7 in the red zone.
Sure.
You made 2 of those. That's 2 touchdowns. Even if you made 2 field goals, that's winning the game. That's all I'm saying. You had a whole half to adjust for that.
Yeah, and if you want to look at it this way, the red zone was the missed field goal too, because it's in the red zone.
Again, they had a whole half.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying. I'm trying to put a thing together. If you look at it, it equates for both, because missing that field goal or not getting any points in that red zone was one of the attempts of the 7. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that one, because football is a 60-minute game. It is not a half a game. So you got to do, if you mess up in the first half, you got to compensate in the second half and make sure you don't do the same thing you did in the first half.
Missing that field goal and getting that penalty and ending the half like that, yes, was really bad. And I think that did put the Lions in a bad position, but you still had 2 other quarters to go out there and correct it. Now,
sure, I get it. And the thing is, when you don't make up for that mistake, that mistake gets bigger and bigger and bigger as the game goes. And that's what we ran into, is when we got into plus territory twice, we had to get a touchdown in order to take the lead. A field goal was not going to do it.
Which we did once.
I'm gonna throw a little rebuttal at you. Why would you feel comfortable with just a field goal when you have one of the top running back tandems in the league? And that defensive line was missing Vita Vea. That's one of the best interior D linemen in the game right now.
I get it. I get it. Let's turn the page on this, okay? Because we could go back. We could go back.
I have to finish.
You've said enough. I get what you're saying.
I get you. So
you're beating a horse when it's already dead.
The fumble. I'm sorry, not fumble, but a field goal, I don't think would have really changed the outcome much. What you want to do is score in the red zone. You can't go 1 for 7 and say kicking field goals is going to be the reason why you win the game. No, you score in the red zone. That means
I understand
run the ball
I do.
On 3rd down. Yeah. If it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, or if it's 4th and 1, you can run the ball when you got David Montgomery tipping off 5.5 yards per carry.
When teams score more in the red zone, they win games. It's just facts, because 70 is more than 3. I get to understand that. And the problem with the Lions, and this is just a bigger issue, is that the Lions were one of the best teams in the red zone last year. They're probably one of the worst this year.
Yes, they are.
It's only week 3, so they got to clean that up. But we'll talk about how we're going to do that. So let's go. So we talked about the roster. We talked about the injury report. We talked about the elevation. So let's talk about the matchup. So give me your matchup for the game today and why.
Aiden Hutchinson going up against another backup tackle. That is my matchup. And I know there are plenty other matchups, but the reason why this is so important is because you want to get pressure on somebody like Kyler Murray. You want to get him out of the pocket. You don't want him to be comfortable in the pocket. We've seen if a quarterback, no matter who they are, it could be Sam Darnold, it can be the Minnesota Vikings quarterback from last year. It doesn't matter. You need to make the quarterback uncomfortable so he does not get the ball to his playmaker. Anytime an offense is off balance, you are able to create turnovers, you're able to create sacks, negative plays, and you're able to just keep them off balance. You do not want a team averaging 30 points a game to get settled in balance at home, because then they're going to have the crowd on their side. Then they're going to start getting momentum in a little bit of hope. So
I agree.
Early on, you want to make them uncomfortable. Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the key.
Let me rebuttal that real quick. I think for Aiden, it's not just putting pressure, it's being smart in how you get your pressure. Because if you raise havoc and try to chase after Kyler Murray, you're going to lose. He's going to have to be disciplined and know where Kyler's going to where he's going to try to go. And that's where watching tape and watching film of the last 2 games is going to help him. Because if he sucks in too much, Kyler's just going to run. We've seen that in the past. Aiden's got to be disciplined. He cannot just run straight to the quarterback, because the other side doesn't help him out. Or if he misses that tackle, Kyler's gone. There ain't nobody on this defense going to stop Kyler Murray straight line speed.
Nah.
So he's got to be smart on how he rushes. And I'm pretty sure Coach T said that to him in practice this week is, dude, we know you can, if this was Kirk Cousins, run like hell at that quarterback. But this is Kyler Murray. It's a whole different animal. You have to be disciplined on how you rush him. You can't just go balls to the wall. Because if you go balls to the wall, you could very well miss the tackle. And we've seen that. We saw that with Baker. He's missed a Baker sack, and Baker got a big run. You can't do that with Kyler because that's 7. So That's all I'm saying. That's my only rebuttal towards that. But I do agree with you. Aiden versus the backup tackle, that's barbecue chicken all day if he can get to the quarterback. Go ahead, B. What's yours?
Should be a sack and a half.
Just to go on that, I think it's not just Aiden Hutchinson that has to learn. I mean, has to.
Oh yeah.
The whole defensive line and the linebacking core have to be on that same level. Last game, like I said, they could have had more sacks. It's just the fact that they weren't disciplined in coming after Baker Mayfield. They had him a couple of times. It was like he was wearing Crisco oil or something. They just slipped off the tackles, and they can't have that. They can't. So they just got to do better, and that's something that can be cleaned up by discipline on the defense.
Take that extra step, like Coach T always says. Take that extra step.
My matchup is going to set Carlton Davis to where he was talking stuff in the beginning of the season about he's going to be a shutdown corner. He needs to shut down Marvin Harrison. Now he's a rookie.
He should shut down Marvin
Carlton
Harrison.
Carlton Davis is a vet. You cannot. I mean, the Rams corners couldn't do nothing against him because they suck. But Carlton Davis is not them. All right. So I would definitely, if he starts shutting down Marvin, guess what? They're going to put Marvin on the other side of the field where Terrion is at. And Terrion has to get that same discipline where he has to shut him down as well. And then they're both rookies. So this should be on rookie action, which will be fun to see. But I really believe that the corners are going to be the cornerstone for that defense as far as the offense goes, for Marvin getting out open. Even if Kyler Murray gets out of the pass, you want to make sure he has nobody to throw to. If he's going to run, let him run. Give him the Michael Jordan effect. The dude's going to score 23 damn points anyway in a quarter. Let him do it. Just don't let nobody else do it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. And as long as they can contain that whole situation, they'll be fine. I think the offense is really where I have the concern at, but we'll get into that too.
Yeah. So, I agree with you on Carlton Davis. Carlton Davis had one of the worst PFF grades last week with Terry and Arnold. So our starting cornerbacks are playing like ass right now. Let's just be real. They're not playing good. Okay. One is a rookie. If y'all want to say it, he's a rookie and he's learning. The other one has no excuse. No excuse. So I think that with Carlton Davis going against Marvin Harrison, this should be a matchup he should win. Because if you're getting cooked by a rookie, dude, you're ass. You're bad. You sure as hell don't deserve to be in Detroit. Like, I'll let your ass walk. I'm telling you already.
Cut him some slack, though. I mean, it's not like he's just going up against Jalen McMillan or anything. Marvin
it doesn't matter. He's a rookie, bro.
I get it. But he was playing like a vet in college. I'm not saying, if he goes off for 150, 200 yards, then okay, cut him a break. But, I mean, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, he's going to get plays, and I think he's going to make a few plays because that's
sure. I mean, he'll catch the ball, but I mean, Carlton Davis can't be a turnstile in this game.
I agree. I don't think he's going to be that guy that's going to just keep him to 10, 15 yards and one catch. No, it's going to be like a back and forth battle. We just need to limit the big plays from Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't let him get behind you. Don't get any crazy PI calls, and you'll be fine.
No PI calls.
Can I throw another matchup out there for you?
Sure, go ahead. They better not take mine, but go ahead. Well, we're not going offense. We're not going offense yet.
Oh,
we start defense. Sorry.
Defense,
so mine's going to be Kirby and BB because you have got two ball hawks back there that just want the ball thrown in the air because they're going to go get it. Those dudes are lasers to the ball. And one thing with Kyler Murray is he likes to get a little cocky and think that he can sling the ball downfield at a pretty accurate rate, but he's not very accurate when it comes to the deep ball. He's hit or miss sometimes. That's where Kirby and BB need to step up and jump those routes, and I think they will, because the fact is that you outside of Marvin Harrison, if you take Marvin Harrison away from this offense, from the passing game, we're just talking, then who else is going to step up outside of that? So that's why.
My reason I didn't hear that. What'd you say?
I said, you take away Marvin Harrison from the equation. Who else is going to step up outside of their receivers?
White. I think White could,
I don't even know who that is.
He's the wide receiver. He can make a. I mean, you don't know, but I get it. He can make.
I'm gonna take a quote from Jeremy. He says he's a jag, just a guy. He's just a guy. That's what I'm saying. He's not. He's not a dude that we're losing sleep over. So I'm trying to say. Okay.
Don't sell him short.
I get it. But the facts are the facts. If you woke up tonight, or if you woke up in the morning and said, "Am I worried about this white dude?" No. What are you worried about? Marvin Harrison, James Conner. Those are the two guys you should be absolutely worried with about the Cardinals. If anybody else steps up, hey, shit happens. Hopefully we have a plan for it. But what I'm saying is for BB and Kirby, we have to be able to jump those routes and get those turnovers because those dudes are the best two tandems right now in the NFL. There's nobody else playing better at the safety position than those two dudes.
What about James Conner, the running back? You worried about that a little bit at all?
Yeah, I just mentioned James Conner. I said if the only two players you would be worried about would be Marvin Harrison and James Conner on offense.
Okay, because
for sure. No,
he gassed. How many yards did he have last season? Did he score? I'm not sure, but
I don't know. But I trust our run defense too. I think our run defense will shut him down.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
All right, let's go to the offense. Give me your matchups on offense. B, you go first.
Really, probably would like to see. They have a linebacker in there that was wreaking havoc on the Rams. And I want to see Collins? No, it was a different guy. It was another guy. I think he was is he a rookie? I don't think he's a rookie. But anyway, he had 3 sacks in the game. Okay. So you got to make sure that we contain him. We don't need any extra crap going on. But I mean, the matchup is basically the offensive line versus the defensive line. To me, I mean, if they go and do what they're supposed to do, and run the ball, I mean, that's all that's going to count in this game is that offensive line. So sure. That's a matchup I want to see. I'm not worried about Amon St. Brown. I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about. There's different aspects of the game. I'm not worried about the defense as much. I'm not worried about Amon St. Brown. I'm not worried about Laporta. I'm not worried about Monty or Jameer. I'm not worried about those guys. I'm worried about them running the ball. I'm worried about Ben Johnson. That's who I'm worried about. Ben Johnson's
just for the sake of the segment, what is your matchup that you're going to look forward to? Just so I can understand what you're saying.
So, well, I'm just gonna. I mean, like I said, I'm not worried about the players. I'm worried about Ben Johnson. So Ben Johnson matching up against whoever the defensive coordinator is against Arizona.
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Okay. Okay.
I mean.
I get it. That you're more worried about the offense as a whole. You don't see, or you're not really worried about.
I'm not worried about the players.
Got it.
I am worrying about the play calling.
Okay.
That's what I'm worried about.
We'll get to the keys of
Ben
victory.
Johnson versus that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right now, yeah. Okay, Jay, what you got?
I'm on Ron Buda Baker, and reason.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is because Buda Baker is a star. I don't know why he's flying under the radar and people don't think of him, but Buda Baker is a beast. He's fast. He can get to the ball just like that, and how efficient is Jared Goff and Amon Ra going to be on third down? Because, last year that was his favorite target on third down. Highest catch percentage on third down last year, and now you're going up against someone like Buda Baker who's going to anticipate that pass, and he's going to wreak some havoc. So I'm really excited to see if St. Brown can have a bounce back game, and if Goff is going to have that bounce back game, and we're just going to see how it works out, man. I'm excited.
I think Amon-Ra did have a a back game. He had over 100 yards and 10 catches.
114 yards,
a good game
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it was Goff that had the problem.
Yeah. Can he be more? Can he be more consistent? That's what you're probably saying.
Yeah. Oh, Brown, St. Brown.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something about St. Brown. St. Brown is the best route runner. I would think he's a top 3 route runner in the NFL right now.
I agree.
And there's times he gets open and you don't know, and they got him double covered. You don't know how the hell he got that damn open.
Yeah.
He'll be out there in the middle of the damn field going, "Hey, I'd be like, damn, nobody's paying attention. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no.
but he just makes a couple of adjustments in his routes, and he's like in the middle of nowhere.
He reminds me like of a better version of Wes Welker. Remember Wes Welker with the Pats?
Oh, he's
or Keenan Allen.
Welker.
Well, that's what I said. A better version of Wes Welker because Wes Welker always got open.
He reminds me of Keenan Allen.
You know who he reminds me of, St. Brown?
When he was good.
Cooper Kupp. He reminds me of Cooper Kupp. Why?
Yeah, I think he's a combination of all three of them for sure.
Yeah.
But let me
go ahead.
Let me go back to Budda Baker real quick because I watched all the interviews before this week. That dude's name came out of every person's mouth on the offensive side and players. Where is Budda going to be? And I think that's huge because Budda Baker is like their Troy Polamalu. He's a guy they can line up anywhere, that they can put anywhere. You can put him in the slot. They can put him in the back. They can put him at the line. So knowing where he is at all times is huge because if you can limit him, then you take out a huge part of their defense because their defense revolves around Budda Baker. Like he's their star player and then everybody else follows behind him. So let me give you my matchup.
If that's all everybody is shouting about, then I'm not worried about that either. Because they're gonna face other safeties that are good.
Short, man. Come on, B. You selling
and then you got to remember something too. I'm not selling them short, but I mean, everybody hypes stuff every week about a certain player. Look like Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, he got 130 yards and blah 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 against a badass defense. Mm-hmm. First of all, he didn't do that against fucking Buffalo, now did he? No, he did not.
But here's and you bring up a great point.
Everything.
And you bring up a great point, B, because this is what I always say. When you're a rookie, you're not feared until halfway through the season. If you've been consistent through your process, you're still filling everything out. You can have your ups, you can have your downs. Budda Baker has been in the NFL for a good minute. Okay, he deserves the respect that he has, and that's why all these players are mentioning him. Because I haven't heard a lot of players mention a guy like this so many times. So it tells me that they want to make sure they know where he's at, and they should know where he's at because the guy's a missile and he can make plays. Goff better know where he's at all times.
If you know something, if I wasn't anticipating the Lions being run heavy today, I would take the over on Budda Baker interceptions because he can get there. He can get there. I don't anticipate the Lions passing as much as they did, so I don't think he's going to have an opportunity. But he's going to make a few pass deflections, and you're going to look and be like, "Ooh, that was close," because that guy, he's everywhere, man. I get
it. He's like BB. BB is everywhere for our defense.
Listen how other teams in this division talks about Budda Baker.
Sure, it's well deserved. He's a good player. You know.
Yeah, agree 100%.
Fun fact:
he would be more talked if he was on a better team.
Off season, that was one of the trade rumors for the Lions, getting Budda Baker.
I know.
Now, I didn't understand that whole concept, considering we already had enough safeties on our side. I was like, okay, that probably won't work because we got too many safeties now. So what are we gonna do? Get rid of Kirby? I mean,
I think
he'd have to be a starting safety somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think if BB wasn't on this team, that Budda Baker could have been a more reality because you need a playmaker. Aaron Glenn loves those playmakers in the backfield because he was one himself, So he values those playmakers in the back. And so, but the fact you have BB, you have the same guy. I think BB's better, in my opinion. That's just me. Maybe it's a little biased.
Say that again. You think?
I think BB's better than Budda Baker.
No.
I do.
No.
Okay.
I can't. You first of all, I mean that's going over the top a little bit because Budda Baker has been in a Pro Bowl and he's been in the league for a while. Let Brian Branch be in there for at least 3 years and then we can make that decision.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
spectacular now and he does have the potential of being one of the greatest safeties.
Yes,
but let the history flow. That's what I'm saying.
Again, this is my opinion. Y'all can say what you want to say. What I've seen from both players, I've seen more potential in BB now than I saw with Budda when
he's a rookie.
Okay, right. And I understand that you can say that you think he has a high ceiling, but right now, Brian Branch has to put in work. I mean, I respect him. I think the kid is a superstar in the making, but he has to get there first, right? Like, you have to get there. You have to put in that work to say, hey, you're here. We're going to automatically just crown you better than this person.
Well, I think you got to look at it. I think you got to look at it from this standpoint too. He's the second best player on the defense already in the second year.
I won't say that. You saying the second?
Who's better?
Second.
Secondary.
No. Second best player. Second best
defense.
player on this defense.
Aiden
Behind
Hutchinson.
97.
Second.
Second best player.
Reader?
No.
DJ Reader.
Well,
he hasn't established himself yet.
His defense
That's
is not
another
as good
thing.
without BB.
Well, let's dissect that a little bit. When you talk about him being the second best player, you got to look and see the accolades of these people and the roles that they play, right? Like Brian Branch, he just got that switch to safety because they lined him up a lot in the nickel last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? So,
but he shut down the nickel. That's what I'm trying to say. The guy can do everything. Can Buddha play the nickel as good as BB is? I don't know. I've never seen him at the nickel. I've seen him.
Yeah, he actually.
I've seen him more as like a Kirby role where he's in the more of the back end.
Listen, he will play it better. And not only is he a ball hawk, the guy can run. Do you know how fast he is? He's one of the fastest players.
Well, let's just say this. If you say that BB had a higher grade than Buddha did.
I can see that last week or just overall, like this season.
I get it. We're pulling teeth here. I get it.
Yeah.
Let me give you my matchup. So my matchup is Laporta versus the linebackers. Now, like I said the last week, part of it was because maybe JMO was always open. Amaral gets open all the time. That Laporta kind of gets forgotten sometimes in this offense because, they've got two guys that can get separation pretty quickly. One goes deep, one cuts in the middle. However, I'm telling you, Levante David had a part to do with that freaking game because he's a great coverage linebacker. He's been a great coverage linebacker against tight ends in the past. You can look it up if you don't believe me. So this week, he's going against Xavier Collins, who is a good linebacker. And that rookie guy that B was mentioning, I don't know what his name is. I'll have to check him out.
I don't think he's a rookie, but I got to see who it was.
Yeah. So, again, Laporta has a matchup that I think he can exploit. And he's going to have to because I do think they're going to bring a lot of blitz on Goff. And so Goff has got to get rid of the ball quick if he's going to throw or hand it off or do draws or whatever or screens. But he's going to have to get the ball off quick because I do expect a lot of blitz on Goff. I don't think they're going to sit back and let Goff just tear him apart. Especially, and Buddha will probably be the leader of that blitz.
But first of all, Goff isn't going to do that anyway. Okay, they're going to have to come out and establish the run. And if I don't see them run the ball 3 straight fucking times, I'm going to be pissed because they need to do that. I don't care if they get a first down or not. Just establish the fact that you're going to run the ball. That's the other part. I agree with you a little bit. I don't Devontae. Okay, whatever. But the reason why that was dictated like that and why Laporta didn't get a lot of open space is because of the way the offense was being called. Sure. If you're running the ball, you're bringing the defense up. If you're running the ball successfully, you got to bring the defense up to stop the run, right? That's usually what happens when Laporta gets his haul, is when they're playing the run most of the time, he's out there. Right. Nobody is covering him because he's got enough defense people. They're all on the damn line. Sure. So that's the reason why Laporta didn't get a lot of catches because they were playing the pass the whole time because they threw 55 times. Come on.
Another thing too, I think we're forgetting is that, and Dan kind of alluded this, or maybe Ben alluded this. Laporta's been blocking more. Like they want him in the run game blocking. So he's got, he hasn't hit that echelon where he can block and catch the ball at the same rate. I think they're working on his blocking because they know the run game needs help at times, when they do run the ball. So, he's in his sophomore year. We didn't expect all our second year guys to just run off and finish where they started last year. There's more tape on these players. It's the second year, so it's going to take some time. But I do like the matchup this week with him because I don't trust those linebackers to be able to stay with Laporta if Laporta can get open and be an asset for Goff, which I think he will have to because of the blitz. Go ahead.
Yes. I agree, and that's a part of a thing that I wanted to talk about really quick. Sam Laporta, this needs to be a breakout game for him. We've heard that Sam Laporta has been dinged up in training camp, like kind of all through the offseason, and
he's good now. Yeah, he's good now.
Yeah, this should be a breakout game for Sam Laporta. I think Sam Laporta needs to come in. He needs to get at least 80 yards. I want to see at least 5 receptions and a touchdown from him. I want to see him all over the field making crazy catches, because if Jared Goff is going to get established and get better, he needs his tight end, and he needs to drop the ball up to his tight end.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have struggled with tight ends in the past. Do you remember that game we played in Arizona where Hawkinson went off and pretty much had like a game where we thought he was going to be like the greatest thing sliced bread? So they've had moments where they've struggled with tight ends. So yeah, I do agree. I think Laporta definitely could have one of those games. But
the only way he succeeds to me is if they do what?
Yeah, they start the run first. Yeah,
they're going to run the ball.
Sure. Yeah,
because he's not going to be. If they go to that 55 passing play thing, I'm gonna be pissed. I would be shocked.
I would be shocked if they go. I would be shocked if Goff has over 55 attempts. I will be shocked.
But I
want to not have over 38.
What I want to see is a little play action pass. Montgomery or Gibbs. Jared Goff kind of rolls out a little bit.
I want to see more screen game. I think we have enough linemen that we can get out and screen play. I don't know why Ben Johnson does not run more screen plays.
Because we're notoriously bad at screens. Historically, the Lions are really bad at screens. For some reason, it doesn't make a difference. What offensive coordinators there? They just can't get a damn screen to save your life.
Man. That is ridiculous. That is a huge, big play you have to have in your offense, especially with speed.
You're in a red zone, but
yeah,
they don't really need to run a screen like that, especially when you have a great running game the way you do now. I mean,
dude, you have a bunch of speed. You want to get out in the outs to exploit. But let's talk about keys to victory. So I already know where B is going to go, so I'm going to let B go first. Start with your keys to victory, or you can say it 3 times. It doesn't matter.
Run. That's the key to victory.
Yeah.
The guy's name is Dennis Gardeck. That's the linebacker I was telling you.
Okay,
about. Yeah,
thank you. So yeah, I mean, the Lions' offense is predicated on the run. We run to pass. I tell that to everybody about the Lions' offense. We run to pass. When the Lions don't run the ball, we struggle because Goff and our O-line are not made to be out there 50 attempts. Like they even admitted that in the presser this week that you can't overextend your O-line. Because your O-line, your bread and butter is running the football. They want to get to the trenches and they want to push people around and create those holes for our running backs. They don't want to be back out there having to hold their water for 50 attempts. So I agree with you. Run the football. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, run the football. I want to just explain.
And run the football.
We all are going to agree that they need to run the football. Run. When you got 2 backs,
take their soul away. I always say that. Take their soul away.
Yes, I agree. Take it away. When you got 2 backs that are averaging over 5.5 yards per carry, you stick to that. Then you'll be able to open up the offense a little bit more, because that's going to force people to play inside. When you got 3 good targets, you can throw the ball. Sure. That's one of the biggest things the Lions succeeded in since Ben Johnson has taken over our offense. Play action pass, get them scared, you dump it off. But most of all, establish the run and establish it really early. Let them know that you're not going to give them the ball, that you're going to control time of possession, and let them know that you're going to play bully ball, just like Michigan did USC yesterday. I know everybody's seen that too.
Yeah, 32 yards. That's all they did with all game passing. I'm not saying the Goff's going to have 32 yards, but you do what you do best, and they got to stop you. And I agree. Yes. I will throw one thing about Detroit is that with the running of the ball, you have to mix it up a little bit, because if they're going to crowd the box and you're going to run into blitzes, you're going to lose yards. And we saw that last game is when Gibbs would get the ball. They knew that Gibbs was getting the ball, and he got blown up for a 5-yard loss. One of them was in the red zone. You can't have negative yards in the red zone. You can't have penalties, and you can't have negative yards in the red zone. You can't have penalties.
That was Ben Johnson's fault. That
was Goff. Goff should have saw that blitz coming and killed that play.
Play call. That was a horrible play call, because they just had ran that previous play the play before. That was.
But if you're a quarterback, okay, put yourself in Goff's shoes. If you're a quarterback and you see them creeping up at the line, and you know that they're going to run right into that freaking blitz, don't you kill that play and try to go to a different play?
Well, it depends.
It depends on the blitz too. Sometimes defenses are really good at covering blitzes.
And we're talking about top balls here. Come on.
Yeah. Quarterback play. You know, the best quarterbacks like Brady was one of the masters at reading a blitz. Peyton Manning, one of the masters at play. And those are quarterbacks that come once in a few years. Goff is not that guy. He has quarterback smarts, but he's not. Blitzes can be disguised really well. And if he doesn't see that blitz until the last minute after he's made the call, you know, and it's like, oh shit, and he says hike and he says, oh shit, it's a blitz.
I don't know. I saw that coming
too late by that time.
I'll just say this: I saw that coming from a mile away, and we lost 5 yards in that play. That was huge because
you could have saw it from 5 yards away because you're sitting and looking at it on TV. That quarterback's in that pocket, not able to see all that all the time. You got to understand it's a whole different coverage look at, you know, a lot of people like to play, and I'm not trying to say this to you, Nate. I know you have a very good observation of football, but there's a lot of people out there that play couch quarterback.
Sure, no, I get it.
And then people don't. You what you see on TV is not what the quarterback sees on the field. He doesn't see that panoramic view. He sees what's in front of him. And if that defense is confusing him enough that they say they blitz at the last minute on him before he can make a call or anything like, it's just going to happen like that. Running plays aren't always going to go to positive. That's just part of the game.
Yeah, but it's harder when you get them in the red zone because that takes away yards that you're closer to the goal line, and that was huge because we didn't convert that play or that possession because of the loss of yards.
That Todd Bowles is one of the best coaches when it comes
defensively.
And
I get it.
Coverages and some disguised blitzes at you that people will not be able to handle. And I think it was up to Ben Johnson, and that was Ben Johnson's fault because you ran that same exact play before. So if he's switching up the whole blitz package, you're not knowing where he's coming from. And Goff struggled with that last week. He struggled with that big time last week. So what you do, you're supposed to dial up something else that can possibly get you in the end zone, or goddamn it, at least pick up the first down.
Well, I hope it's pre-snap.
I don't think it was first and goal or anything. I still think they could have picked up a first down at that time. It's like,
it was like at the 10-yard line, something like that. But I hope that his pre-snap's better this game because they're gonna bring the heat. I'm telling y'all. Just you watch. Not gonna let them sit back there.
If they run the ball, they're not bringing no kind of heat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If they start running the ball, they can't bring heat because they're gonna have to respect the run, especially if they have successful runs all in a row. They got to do like, what was the team? Wasn't it? It was Michigan. Remember the last year in Michigan, they would play Penn State and they ran the ball like 32 straight times.
Yes. That's what the Lions need to do. You got Craig Reynolds, you got Sione Vaki, you got Jahmyr Gibbs, and you got David Montgomery. Run that ball. You can give them all 10 carries each if you wanted to.
You got the best offensive line in the league. There is no excuse for not running the ball. Not 24 times. That's bullshit, dude. There should be like about 40 attempts right there. 20 for each running back.
Play bully ball with them. You know they can't handle you.
Right.
Well, they got to, like B said, they have to have effective runs because you can say, "Oh, we won the ball as much as we want, and we only get 1 or 2 yards of carry." Then why are you running the ball? Because you're not getting anything. You're throwing it long every time.
Both he and Gibbs averaged over 5.5.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying you have to have effective runs in order to keep running the football.
Yes,
that's just that simple.
Well,
right.
And the point of the whole matter is too, not only so what if it's not effective for the first 3 downs? Do you just give up on a run play? No, you keep running the ball. You let that defense play defense. You keep running the ball until somebody gives. That's the whole point of the matter. This league is slowly. If you notice right now, running backs are making a big ass comeback in the beginning of the season.
There is.
So that's telling you right there. There's teams that are playing against their weak ass offensive. Like they got weak ass offensive lines that are giving running backs lanes because offensive linemen love to run block.
Sure.
It's
they'd rather
thing to
do
do
that than have to step back.
Yeah, sit there and pass because they can run into each other. You know, some high-strung defensive end could come bull rushing through there and push him back onto one of his own linemen and have an ankle injury. Running plays, you're pushing. You're not even worried about defensive ends coming around because the defensive ends usually are useless at that point because if you're run blocking, what are they going to do? You know, their job is to get to the quarterback, but the quarterback don't have the ball. Who has the ball? Running back. So, I mean,
yeah, I think early on, like you brought up a good point, B. I think that, you know, with offenses, they're still figuring things out. You know, it usually takes about week 5, week 6, 7, 8 for offense to get humming. You know, and so the defenses are usually always ahead of the offenses because they know the offenses, they want to either run the ball really, really strong or they're going to go back and pass it a lot. So the defense is like, okay, well, if we have a good secondary, we're made to stop your pass. If we have a good run defense, we're made to stop your run. That's what the Lions do. The Lions know they got a stout run defense. So the first thing they're going to try to do is bottle up Connor first and foremost and say, you know what, Kyler Murray, take shots at us. We got 2 safeties that are just ready for that.
So really quick, can we spend the last 34 minutes talking about concerns for our team?
Not yet, boss.
All right,
don't jump the gun yet. So let's go to let me give my keys real quick, okay? And then we'll talk about what you're going to talk about, and we'll go to predictions. So my 2 keys are very simple. Contain Kyler Murray. If you contain Kyler Murray in the pocket and make him a pocket passer, you should win the game. Because I'd rather have Kyler Murray throwing the ball from the pocket than running around and beating everybody on the defense. So contain Kyler Murray. He's a very small guy. He's only 5'11", 6 foot at the best. Davenport 6'6", Aiden 6'7", DJ Reader 6'2", 6'3", Aleem 6'2". You got a lot of dudes. Put your hands up and block the shit out of that ball. Contain Kyler Murray. Raise havoc and hell on him, and you win the game. The next one is, and this one's kind of a different one. I want more creativity from Ben Johnson. I want the creativity we've seen the last 2 years. Yes, B, I agree with you. Run the football. I agree with it wholeheartedly. Start the run. Take their soul away early. But I want to see more creativity. I want to see more end arounds. I want to see more mismatches. Because one thing that made Ben Johnson is his creative mind. And I haven't seen that. I've seen a scared Ben Johnson is what I've seen. Mm-hmm. And I want to see him get more creative and exploit these matchups. Get Laporta in different matchups. Get St. Brown in different matchups. Get Amara in different matchups. Get Patrick, Robinson, whoever the hell else you want to put. Put these players in the best position to get a mismatch on the defense. Those are my 2 keys to victory.
I don't know if he's scared. I just think he's being egotistical. That's what he's doing.
Well, egotistical
he's
or
thinking
scared
he's,
or whatever it is.
He's like, I'm Ben Johnson. I'm one of the best offensive coordinators in here, so I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. No, that's not going to game plan, bro. You have to do what you did last year. Stick with the bread and butter that was given to you. Do that. And then when you run the ball, like you said, he becomes creative. And that's what I'm talking about. If he establishes some part of that run, mm-hmm. and Arizona can't stop it or are barely stopping the run, they're going to start doing all kinds of uncharacteristic stuff on defense. And that's when Ben Johnson's at his best, because then he can go out there and say, this linebacker's cheating over to this side. So let's get Laporta on a little slant or something like that and get him behind there. And then he can take off with it and run down the field. He did that with, what was that? The Giants game when they won that game. I think it was, the year before when they were 9-8, mm-hmm. where he had Brock Wright by himself, game winner too. Dude was by himself. It's like, how the hell does this no-name tight end get wide open by himself in a game-tight situation? That's Ben Johnson. Those are the creative things that Ben Johnson does. But yeah, I'm on the board with that.
Okay. All right, Jay, what you got?
So I just want to take these last 30 minutes here really quick to just express some concerns.
Okay.
By the Lions being a little bit flat these couple of weeks starting out the season, we kind of said that they'll bounce back next game. But the efficiency that they had against the Rams wasn't well at all, but they got the job done. They said that they were going to go and clean up some mistakes. Then you face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's kind of like you fall flat on your face once again. What I want to see the Lions score in the red zone. I don't want to see just big chunk plays, but I want to see that in situational times where you're in the red zone, you can score, you can run the ball and get in. Jared Goff just needs to be better. I'm pretty sure he understands that. So it's a radio show here called 97.1 The Ticket. I listen to it all the time, and I heard him talking to some of the hosts, and he was just saying how he has to be better. The whole team has to be better. Everybody just takes accountability. I am very concerned with the red zone offense because it wasn't all that these past couple of weeks, and that's been their bread and butter all season, last season, no matter who they faced. And so I really just want to see Goff protect the ball. He doesn't have to throw for 300 yards. He knows that. He don't have to go out and have 4 passing touchdowns. If he do that, that's just a bonus. That's a plus. But I want to see how they fare in the red zone. I just really need to see how they fare in the red zone.
Let me add something to that too. I think kind of what B's been saying about the run. The reality is when you get into the red zone, and I don't care if you're playing an actual football game or you're playing Madden or whatever, you run the football in the red zone. Because the fact is that you don't want turnovers in the red zone because that takes away points.
Big time.
And the Lions' biggest issue I have seen so far is that they either try to run in the red zone and get lost for 5 yards, or they get a holding call, or they don't get anything, or they just pass, or they try to be cute with some kind of play that I don't understand what you're trying to do. So I say that because I want them to run the football in the red zone. You have to run the football. You have to establish the trenches in the red zone and just push it down their throat, which the Lions have been very good at doing. I mean, you look at Gibbs and Monty last year, they had over 10 touchdowns. That's 20 touchdowns in the red zone, probably from the 1 or 2 yards. The year before, Jamal Williams had 12 or 15 touchdowns from the 1 yard. So what does that tell you? They run the football in the red zone. So let's not get cute. Let's just pound the ball and get in the end zone. Because when you do that, you make the defense have to force to stop you. I mean, look at yesterday's game. Did you think that Michigan was going to pass the ball on 4th and 1? No. They're going to run the fucking ball down their throats. And you know what? We're going to lose it or win it that way.
It wasn't a question of if they were going to run the ball. It was who's going to run the football.
Right.
Well, I thought they might have been cute and tried to pass it because they knew that everybody was sucking in for the run. But what I'm trying to say is they stick with their identity. They just go for it. If it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah. And that's what the Lions need to have. They need to have that mentality that we got to pound the football down their throats.
Notice though, in that game, that offensive line was really good as far as pushing people around.
Sure.
They love that stuff. I'm telling you, you have a very good offensive line, and their offensive line isn't as good as they had last year. They lost a lot of offensive linemen.
They lost all their offensive linemen.
But the backups were good though. Backups were one of the best in the NCAA. But the point of the matter is now they're all starting, and how you get those kind of players that are starting that were backups the year before, you run the ball. It's the same thing I've been saying about Baltimore. Okay, Baltimore has a problem. You got Derrick Henry, who is a stiff arm away from getting a touchdown every time. You're out there making Lamar Jackson be superhero, and he can't be doing that. That's not Lamar's game. It's kind of like the same situation we got with Goff. It's just opposite. It's just a different situation, but it's the same kind of theory.
Right.
Because their offensive coordinator is doing the same thing. He's trying to make Lamar superhero. You got Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs in the league. You got an offensive line, true enough, are young. They got a couple rookies on that offensive line. They lost Ziegler because that's who we got. But the thing you do to get those people gelled, get that offensive line, you run the ball. And when you have an excellent running back in Derrick Henry, it's the same thing with the Lions. They got 2 excellent running backs back there. Run the damn ball. Michigan did the same thing against USC. Ran the damn ball. Right.
Yes, run the ball. logo like that or something.
The thing is that too. I think some of these offenses, these coordinators overthink themselves. They get away from their principles of what they want to do, and they try to be more creative because they know that, I'm going to be on ESPN this weekend, or I'm going to be on the top 10 play. And I think that hinders your philosophy, because I agree with you, B. Okay, if Dan Campbell was calling this game, you'd be seeing a lot of runs. Because when Dan Campbell was play calling before Ben Johnson, he didn't pass the ball a lot. Very few. He is all about grinding and pounding the football.
Yep.
And here's my thing with Ben Johnson. Ben, if you don't feel that way, or you think that your way is better, bro, you might need to go somewhere else. I'm sorry. And I'm telling you right now, and I've been very vocal about this, Scotty Montgomery will happily take your spot, because Scotty Montgomery will run the fucking football. I guarantee you. He's a running backs coach for a reason. You don't think he wants his boys to get a chance at getting some more TDs? 100%. Come on. But he will follow Dan Campbell's philosophy. And that's the problem that I think that there's starting to become a disconnect with Ben Johnson and Dan, is that Dan wants to pound the football, but Ben says we can pound the football, but we're also going to mix it up because we got to be more new school, or whatever the hell you want to call it. And it's like, dude, whatever wins the game, you do what you do. Last year when we were 12-5, we were one of the best running teams. We stopped the run. We're already good stopping the run already. We just need to run the football. Seriously, take away. It takes the time away. It wears the team down. And the thing about Detroit, going back to the Michigan USC thing, is Michigan was more physical than USC is. USC is not known to be a very physical team, especially on the trenches. They've never been. They've always been more finesse.
Exactly. Damn California teams.
Yeah, exactly. They're California side.
Finesse, yeah.
But when they come to Michigan and play against a Michigan team, they know what they're going to be in for, and that's going to be a dogfight. And it's going to be ugly in the trenches. And they weren't ready for that. They didn't want any of that. That same thing with Detroit. Detroit's coming into Arizona. You got a more flash and pass kind of team in Arizona, 34 points a game. Well, this is where the grit comes in.
Yeah. Something, I know we aren't talking Michigan football right now, but I do have to say that defense is impressive, man. Will Johnson is –
he's going to go high up there in the draft.
I don't see him falling past 5.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
They got a very impressive win, which I did call. I told you.
The dude has instinctive abilities as a corner, and you just don't see that much. Yeah. That's Charles Woodson-like stuff he's doing.
Yes, that guy, he's something big time, and I'm gonna hate when he plays the Lions, because
yeah, we're gonna be down, and we ain't gonna be able to pick him up in the draft next year.
Not at all. But
kudos to Michigan. That was a great win for sure.
I definitely agree with that. Sometimes to win games, you have to get in a dogfight. It has to be nasty. You don't have to win by 2 scores every single game, because it's just unrealistic. And with a team like the Lions that are struggling in the red zone, you want to be able to pick up where you left off. You want to start getting in your groove and everything, because that's going to get you through a lot of games this year. Going up against teams that can score as well. You want to be able to play keep away. Don't go 3 and out, and then start running the ball.
That's what the Lions are all about. We're all about grit. We're all about toughness. We're all about winning ugly. We don't win sexy. We play ugly.
Not a thing for the Lions, and so that's really a big concern of mine. Dan Campbell, he came out and said, "Hey man, I really wouldn't be surprised if our offense doesn't click until after the bye week." Now I'm paraphrasing. That's not verbatim, but that's concerning, considering that you're going to be in some dog fights. You don't want to start 1-2, 1-3, because Seattle, you got them in prime time, and we haven't beaten Seattle in a very long time. You want to be able to continue this momentum. You want to be able to just play your style of ball. Be physical and run the football.
I think when Dan said that, people misconstrued what he was saying, because I think he said that really to get a good gel and a good feel of the offense, it does take about 8 weeks to get the good feel. Because remember, they didn't do any preseason. So they're behind. They didn't have a lot of their weapons. Gibbs is hurt. You know.
Well, I mean, I look at it like this. First of all, Dan Gavin, that was one thing that disturbed me about what he said. The other one was the game the day after, the presser after the Tampa Bay game. He's like, yeah, we were passing to set up the run. Dan. That's not how we run. That's not how we run the offense, bro. We run to set up the pass, dude. What is wrong with you? Listen to Ben Johnson.
I think that was to cover Ben Johnson. I think that was to cover Ben Johnson because
he don't need to do that. Well, and then later in the week, though, he said he got with some coordinators. He didn't say what type of coordinators he got.
He's the head coach. He's always gonna take the blame on himself. That's just what he does.
But anyways, the point I'm trying to make though is that the teams that are successful stick with what they do the best.
Yes.
That's where you see, you know, like these New Orleans that are going out there scoring 500 damn points. How long is that going to last? How long is that going to be able to be in Derek Carr's stretch? He's one of those guys that start off real good, and then in half of the season, he falls the hell off. He don't know how to be a quarterback.
Yeah, we got away from what we did best. That's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what separates the good teams from the bad teams. The good teams are always consistent. Even if they lose a couple games, they're still consistent with what they're doing. And they can take them losses like that and just clean up whatever they got to clean up. The Lions are trying to do something, like you said, they're trying to be on ESPN. Well, at least Ben Johnson's trying to get the Lions. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. We're trying to get W's, not be on ESPN. Okay, buddy?
Yeah. I think also, too, when you go on the road, you're expected to take the crowd out of the game. And what's the best way to take a crowd out of a game? Run the football. Because you wear down the defense and it's a grueling, long drive. As long as you're getting 7 on the board, who cares? But as the opponent, your opponent's just exhausted, you know, and then you go out with your defense and you get a stop. I mean, you can't ask for a better 2 drives right there just on the road. That's what you want to do. Set the tone early. And that's kind of alludes to what I did get my keys to victory. Okay, Jay, do you have any other concerns? Sorry.
Well, no. Yeah, I do. I was just thinking about
Go ahead.
Terrion Arnold. While I think Terrion Arnold is a good defensive back, and I think he's going to be a big-time player in the league, I'm just wondering, with all of these inconsistent pass interference calls that is being called on him, what is that doing to his mental? What is that doing to his
Welcome to the NFL, buddy.
Yeah.
That's what it should be like.
He should be fine. He'll be fine. Yeah. He's a strong player.
Fine, because, while I didn't agree with the pass interference call he got last week, but literally the next drive that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had, Jameson Williams got mugged. He got mugged, and they didn't call it. So
that's the one where he got that. That's the one that led to Goff's interception.
Yes, that's the one.
That was the first interception.
And with that being said, it's like, well, why are they calling these penalties on me? Because I'm a little bit handsy, but this guy just mugged him.
When have the Lions ever been on the good side of the refs? Let's just say that.
So
that's why the mantra Detroit versus everybody.
And exactly. I'm not the type of person to blame refs for anything. I say you keep the refs from out of it. You play, you overcome those, and the Lions have been good at that recently, But I just want to know, when is it going to be a time they're going to let Terrion Arnold actually play without keeping him under a microscope and police?
And see, here's
that he does.
And see, here's the thing about with that. As a player, you have to adjust to what the refs are doing. The refs aren't going to adjust to what you're doing. They don't give a shit. They're getting paid. Okay. Yep. So you have to adjust to what the refs are calling. That's why a lot of times they kind of know who the crew's going to be. So they can see what crews are going to call more holding calls, what pass interference calls. It's kind of like getting what can I get away with? With Terrion, listen, I've seen the PIs with Terrion. It's just hands. Dude, don't get handsy. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. You got great placement. You're right in the area. Your head's turned around. Don't get handsy. If you don't get handsy, they probably don't call it. But when you get handsy and you're physical, it's a double whammy, and you're going to get called for it. And he's a rookie too.
I think more. I don't know. I'd say it's more of a rookie thing, because if that was someone else in Kansas City or Green Bay or New Orleans, they wouldn't have called that call. We know they wouldn't have called
It's dependent on the player. Yes, I agree with you.
It's the player for sure, and that right there kind of makes me think: what is that doing to his confidence and his mental state? To say,
I think he'll be fine. He just needs to just move to the next play because
I think a lot of people are going nuts about the whole situation and it's only week 2. The dude is a rookie. Everybody understands that he's gonna play. He's gonna be in a number 2 corner regardless. When he's healthy out there on the field, that's his job. He's gonna go through ups and downs because he's a rookie. People have to understand that this is only the second game. All right. Don't jump to conclusions. Let that dude play his play. If he sucks like this on week 16, then you can start talking shit about him. But don't do that after 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I just remember Darius Slay, man. Darius Slay was ass all year. Like he was a turnstile all year.
Darius Slay,
and the guy became one of our better cornerbacks.
Third-year corner. He got into a third year. That dude was all pro.
I think another reason why people had such high expectations of Tarian was because of BB. BB came in with his head on fire and played really well. And you expect that from a player from Alabama because Coach Saban coaches his players to play in the pros. That's why they have so many draft picks. And they expected Tarian to come in and be a plug-and-play type of player. Dude, cornerback's one of the hardest positions to play. You're playing against one of the most athletic people, the most fastest people, and you have to do it in a snap of a second. So I think with Tarian, he's just got to just keep moving on. But I just want him to be more aware and understand these quarterbacks. Like watch more film of the quarterbacks. Hey, like we know Kyler Murray likes to throw a little bit wider than his passes go. Dude, jump that route. Run the route better than the receiver does. Look at you guys see Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's gonna be a damn good cornerback. You know why? Because he can run the route better than the receiver can. And he knows it's coming.
I think they're going to keep that receiver.
I think he could very well play both. I really do.
I don't think he'll go in the draft as a receiver. He'll go in as a corner. However, again, college cornering is different. In college, you can tell who's going to be a pro player.
Sure, okay? Yeah. We
because
mentioned 2 of them already.
College is such a vanilla damn in defenses either way. Against vanilla-ass offenses. That's just what it is. Sorry. It's nowhere compared to all the schemes and all the moves that NFL offenses.
And you have to dominate your position in college. The
reason why corners have such a hard position, because they don't only have to play the receiver and know his tendencies and his routes and stuff like that. They have to play the quarterback too, and they got to know what the quarterback is like. So they have to study game film on both good corners. All right. Tarian Arnold, you might be right about the Brian Branch thing, but Brian Branch is like, I'm gonna tell you something. He's gonna be one of those guys, one of those safeties in a generation. He's gonna be a Palomar. He's that good as a safety. And as a nickel. If you can play a nickel, if you can play nickel the way he did last year and then moves flawlessly now he did have a couple of where he did miss his tackles, but I tell you what, the second game he wasn't doing that.
Yeah, that was just rust. I think by him not playing in the preseason, that was just him rust. Because it even shocked the hell out of us. He missed 3 tackles. Like, come on, baby, that's not you, bro. We see you blow up people in the backfield. You know,
and in his last game, he concentrated more on his tackling than trying to go after the ball. Now he's going to mend those 2 things together, and I think this is one of the games that he'll do that, where he'll be more instinctive, make the tackles, and try to go for those picks when he can get those picks. And I'm going to tell you something: as good as everybody's making Kyler Murray to be, that dude can suck in an instance. He played a good Buffalo team, and they did good in the first half, but Buffalo shut his ass down in the second half. Yeah. That's what good teams do. That's what I expect Detroit to do.
Another thing too. Go ahead.
I was going to say I hope so, but I wanted to just add a little bit of something in here before Nate closes us out. I wanted to do some predictions.
Yeah, we're about to do predictions, but let me just add something real quick, man. So going back to what you said about BB. Like, I think that if Kyler even gets a hint of a run, BB needs to put him on his ass. Do it legally. Don't get a freaking penalty or anything like that. Put him on his ass because he's not a big guy. Or anybody who sees Kyler Murray, Alex, Barnes, Rodrigo, anybody, put him on his ass because I guarantee you he'll feel it. He's not a big dude. And that's going to make him think twice about running. But let's go to predictions. So, what do we got? You want to go first, Jay?
And right now, I think I got the Lions winning 23-24. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think the Lions are going to have to just get back to the basics. Mm-hmm. I think,
who's your breakout player?
It's my breakout player, Laporta. It has to be Sam Laporta.
Yeah, you just say Laporta early, so stick with your guy. There you go. I like it.
I got 23-24.
Okay. BB, what you got?
I'm right around where Jay is at. I'm an optimist, skeptical type of guy, right, in this game, because I don't know. It all hinges on what Ben Johnson decides he wants to do in this game, and I'm not confident in him right now. I'm just not. I'm confident in every player that's on the field to do their job, but I'm not confident in Ben to put them in that right position until I see it. And so I'm gonna be like Jay. I'm gonna say like 25-24. My breakout player is gonna be like Carlton Davis. I think he's gonna have a good game here. I'm hoping he has a good game here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say 31-27. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think that when we watch games on the road, our defense doesn't always travel with the team sometimes, and I think true. But I think the offense wakes up, and I think it gels really well today. And I think my breakout player is going to be Jared Goff. I think he's taking some heat this week, and he knows he's got to be better. And I think he will be better. And so I'm going to say he has 3 touchdowns.
All right.
I think his offense lights up today.
That means they're running the ball.
Answer the question I was just about to ask you, Nate, but I'm going to ask you right now, B. Strilla. Jared Goff over under 262 and a half passing yards. You going over or under?
Over.
All right. You're going over. Obviously, you're going over. So
I still have 3 touchdowns and have under.
Yeah, I think that they're going to have some shots. I think they're going to take shots with our guys, get them in space. Ben Johnson's going to call a better game. And I think that it's going to be on balance in both.
I'm going to go over because I think Sam Laporta is going to have maybe about 80 to 100 yards. So can't forget about Amon-Ra and my guy J-Mo. So I'm going to go over. So touchdowns, 1.5 touchdowns for Jared Goff passing. You going over?
He said 3.
I said 3. Yeah.
Yep. So
gonna light it up, bro.
Say under, and reason being is because I think they know they have to run that football. You want to run the football, get back to the basics. That's how it is. So last one, over under 0.5 interceptions for Jared Goff.
I don't think he throws an interception in this game at all.
I don't think so either.
Under. You're going with the under as well, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
Going to go under. I don't think he's going to be put in many positions to throw the ball and to turn the ball over. So
no, because like B said, he's going to run the ball.
Go on.
Can't get a pick when you have the ball.
Run the ball. Seriously, like I said, you want to be able to run the ball. Let's get back to the basics. Let's do what we do, and that's run that damn football. Can't wait. I got
so I got a question for you guys, real quick.
Sure.
Who is your unsung hero so far in these last 2 games?
Unsung hero?
Vaki.
My boy.
It's Sione Vaki. And reason being, I know everybody is crowning David Montgomery, J-Mo, Hutch, but Vaki has made plays on special teams that kept our drives going, that kept us in all of these games.
That's a tough one.
Vaki. That guy, he's done some big things for us already.
If you're talking about unsung, it means somebody we don't really talk about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with my boy Rodrigo. When he's got in there, man, he's made plays. The only thing I could give him shit for is that he got juked the crap out of Baker Mayfield so bad. Other than that, Rodrigo has been solid. I trust Rodrigo, man. He's ready to play all the time. He understands that he's not going to play a lot of snaps, but when he gets out there, they're meaningful snaps. You don't really see him miss a lot of situations. Like he's usually there. So I'm gonna say Rodrigo, man. I think he's got a rebirth, man. I think that people forgot about him and it's, hey, I'm still here, guys. Don't forget me.
Yeah, I can get with you on that one.
My unsung hero is Zettler. That dude has led the PFF both weeks. He's been the best offensive lineman the Lions have right now.
Which is not surprising because he was top 10 last year.
Well, Sewell was in the top 10 too. He was above that. Sewell's not even close to that.
Oh, really?
In fact, Decker has been having better PFFs than Sewell right now.
Sewell will be fine. I think that ankle's really.
But I mean, still,
yeah.
The guy Zettler hasn't given up any sacks. He's given up like 1 or 2 pressures in 2 games. Yeah. So I mean, the dude is playing like he's advertised, and that's something you want to see in a free agent. Davenport, get on board with this. Okay.
Hey, that first game he was on. This, so let's see what he does third game.
Stop getting injured, dude. Play. Yeah. Come in here and play. I don't want to hear. I got a cramp. When he played the first game, he was impactful. Him and Hutch were. And I want to see that on a consistent basis. I don't care about one game. I want to be one game. Let's go for the whole damn rest of the season. Okay.
Well, yeah, of course.
So I'll get rid of them old man cramps. Let's go.
I'm gonna give one honorable mention real quick. Jack Fox. Nobody talks about Jack Fox, bro.
No, they don't.
When that dude is punting, ain't nobody better than in the game than him. I don't care what anybody says. The dude just has
situational punting. I don't think it's just punting in general, but situational punting. That dude is like way.
That's the only time we punt is situational.
No. I'm talking about if it's a play that he has to get the ball down within in a 10-yard line to get the defense, that just got off the field.
Ice water in the veins, bro. He knows we need a big punt. Yeah, I agree.
Any other punt, is jack of all trades for that guy. But situational punt, he's awesome.
What you got, Jay? Oh, sorry.
Hey, Jay, what do you think that Aiden Hutchinson's saying to Amon St. Brown right now?
I'm not sure. Probably telling him to go ahead and get to it, man.
Are they on TV or what?
No. I'm talking about the fact that Aiden Hutchinson's from Michigan. And Amon St. Brown's from USC. And Amon St. Brown likes talking cash money trash.
I mean, you remember when Amon St. Brown wore the leprechaun uniform when they played JO?
I would make Amon St. Brown wear a Will Johnson jersey. You understand what I'm saying? Just because he picked off Mason Miller and ran that boy back for a pick 6. Make him take a picture with it too, saying "Go Blue." A little foam finger, and go blue. Plus, I love St. Brown. That's my favorite line. He and Hutch are my 2 favorites. But it's like he passed up on Michigan to go, stay home
to USC. I mean, I understand that. That's his choice. It's no biggie.
Yeah. So if I'm Hutchinson,
he's from California. How do you pass? How do you not go in the backyard?
Yeah, he wanted to stay. He wanted to stay by his spot.
Close to home.
I don't think that's no problem. It made him a better guy for it, I think.
Yeah, that's true because if he was in that Michigan offense, he probably wouldn't have had as many catches.
No, he sure in the hell wouldn't.
So yeah, I get it. I get it, man.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show here. Any final thoughts? We're about to kickoff's about to start in 2 minutes for some of the early games.
Yeah, no more thoughts. Just say go Lions.
FTP.
Do it.
Always.
FTB and FTV.
The Bear Dump, the Vikings, and fuck the Packers. If anybody's out there.
The Fudge Packers.
All right, y'all. Well, this is the One Ass Cheek and Three Toes shows signing off. And as always, stay classy, Packer. Whacker fans.
Packer. Stay classy.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
We some lions, don't let the boys get loose. About to play with our food any day that we choose. We some lions, got them all listening. Time to make history, I want a victory. Lions, don't let the boys get loose. About to play with our food any day that we choose. We some lions.